Not everyone needs a professional video editing software like Final Cut Pro, Resolve, or Premiere Pro. Sometimes you just want something simple that gives you powerful tools to help you create great videos quickly. Because maybe you don't want to have to learn all the intricate settings and buttons and where different things are of a pro app. I get it. That can be daunting and intimidating. So this is where Movavi really shines. It has AI silence removal, AI Auto-Subtitles, it has a massive amount of presets that you can add to your footage, and it is all packaged into an easy-to-use interface. Movavi sponsored this video so I can show you how simple and powerful it is to use, and I gotta say, before I tried it and said yes, I didn't think it was gonna be as solid as it is. And after having used it for a while, I've seriously been impressed by it, and here's why. First off, you can download Movavi for free without the need to put a credit card on file, so there's no upfront commitment if you want to try Movavi out. You just click the download button, and bada bing, bada boom, you got yourself an editing software. The other thing that I like about Movavi, before we hop into the features, is that they offer a simple 1-month plan. So if you know you have a project coming up, that's gonna be a great option for you. So as you can see, the interface is really simple, easy to use. You got your project files. So if we wanna make a sequence here, we can just throw this down on the timeline. You have all your different tools up here. So if you wanna make a cut, you can hit the blade tool and just make a cut here, drag this to the beginning, and we'll do the same with the end here. We'll hit the blade tool and make a cut here. Something else that I like is if you just hover over these different icons, it'll tell you the keyboard shortcut to quickly use that tool. So we know just by hitting B, we can then make cuts really easily and then switch back to the select tool by pressing the A key. One of the most exciting features in Movavi, and something that I would recommend just downloading Movavi for this reason, is the fact that it has AI Auto Captioning. So just by selecting your clip and hitting this icon here, and we'll just hit generate. I did not speed that up, that was real time. Obviously it's not that long of a clip, but it was within 1 second. Now the great part about Movavi is you can just select your styles here, and it comes with a bunch of different styles that you can then tweak, by the way. So if I know I want something like this torn paper, I'll select that. Obviously, not obviously, but I don't want the pink. I would rather have something like a white. You can adjust the font, of course. You can add an outline if you'd like. If we wanted some type of like maybe red, or I like cyan, we'll do a little cyan outline. You could add a drop shadow. And now if we play this out, am I in a Target? Am I at a Walmart? No, I'm actually in the country of Kazakhstan. But once again, there's tons of different options here. So if I wanted something that was a little simpler, we could just install the news style and then just click that, and then we could just make some adjustments to fit our video. And the other great thing is if you just want to move this, you just move it via the viewport. Here's another great example of Movavi's AI Auto Captioning. So just by selecting our clips and hitting this little CC icon and then hitting generate, it will generate auto-subtitles that are accurate and easy to adjust. This was real time, I didn't speed anything up. It has a massive amount of presets that you can add to your footage, and it is... So even with just my in-camera audio, it was able to accurately identify what I said. So we have our captions, but this image is looking a little flat, is it not? So we can just click our clip, head to this little color adjustments icon here, and Movavi comes with a lot of easy-to-use presets that help you to quickly adjust your footage. So just by adding Magic Enhance, we added a little bit of contrast, we can add auto saturation, and we're basically set. But if you wanted to adjust it yourself, you can hop into manual mode and you have Lightroom-like sliders here. So I know I probably want to bump up the saturation just a little bit. Something that is definitely needed in a video editor is to be able to quickly and easily animate different things onto your screen. So right here I'm mentioning Kazakhstan. So just by going to our project files here and dragging a flag of Kazakhstan in and just trimming this to where we want it to be, and going to Tools, Animation, built into Movavi are a bunch of different animations that you can just simply add by dragging to your clip. This one I don't like so much. I actually just want a simple slide here, so we'll just drag this on the clip. Another thing that's great and intuitive, you'll notice on this image here, we have this bar. This is your animation bar. So we have the start of the animation, which we would like at the very beginning, and this endpoint is where it ends. So perhaps we would like it to end right here where I say Kazakhstan. Country of Kazakhstan. Perfect. Now the size is a little too large. So in this instance, we just simply go to position and we just adjust it via the on-screen controls. So Movavi is clearly simple to use, but also has a lot of tools that are very useful. For example, if we just right-click this and we click clone, it'll clone our clip. We can just place it above this flag. And the reason why I'm doing this is if we go to background removal, which you can find in the tools category, maybe we just trim to the flag because we don't need the whole thing analyzed, and we just hit remove. Now we have something like this. I'm actually in the country of Kazakhstan. Obviously we have two audios playing out here, so let's just duck this. So we have a great looking background removal. We have scene detection, easy slow motion, stabilization, but something else that's great is there's a lot of audio effects as well. So this clip is pretty good. There's not a lot of noise in the background. There's a tiny bit though. So just by selecting the clip and going to audio, going to sound autocorrect and adding enhanced audio recording to our clip, as well as perhaps a little noise removal. Where am I? What is this parking lot? Am I in a Target? That sounds really clean, and we basically just clicked a button. A huge perk of Movavi, besides what I'm going to be going over, which is Movavi Effects, which has a bunch of different packs that are extremely useful and well-designed, takes out a lot of the hassle as far as video creation and motion graphics, is the fact that the software comes with its own sound effects and music and different transitions built into the software. So typically, this is the type of stuff you'd have to pay for extra, but the basic default Movavi gives you a lot of great presets straight out of the gate. So I've added a bunch of different clips from my Kazakhstan trip, and now that we're in audio and in the music tab, we have a huge selection of different genres. I prefer cinematic, and you can see there are tons of options to choose from. Just to save time, I already found one that I like. And so we can just drag this to our timeline here. And let's just line this up with the beginning of this clip. And something I'm noticing is this flag kind of extends out just a little bit. There we go, just trim that off. So we have the music lined up, but I would like to figure out where to make these cuts, where to trim these different clips to. Because I kind of want to cut to the beat or cut to the offbeat, but I really don't want to have to listen to the music to determine where the different beats are. Luckily, Movavi has something called beat detection. So just by heading to your Tools tab, going to Beat Detection, we can detect the audio beats really quickly. This is real time, and you'll see it puts little markers above your timeline here. And you can even adjust the minimum time between the beat markers. So if you want a faster edit, you would just decrease the time. It'll show more beat markers on your music. That way you can make cuts to these little beat markers up here. Let's try this. Let's play this out. Kazakhstan. Okay, there's the beat. So we'll just trim this and we'll drag everything over. And if you want this to be the end of your music, we can just press B to bring up the blade tool and just delete this. And the great thing about Movavi is you just double click different clips and you can access your clip settings. So if we want a simple fade out, we just slide the fade out slider, and now we have an easy fade out here. I'd like to maybe do the same thing for the video clip. So just double click, and let's do a nice fade out. Looks great. Like I mentioned, Movavi comes with a bunch of different songs, sound effects, different text options, different transitions you can choose from, and different effects. So we have this drone shot, and I want to spice it up. I want to make it have a little more pizzazz. So just by going to nature and travel and applying this feels like spring effect, obviously a little too harsh, but since Movavi's so intuitive, we probably know that if we click this little effects icon here, we can then decrease this amount so it's not as strong, and maybe even just a little bit less. So watch this. Look at that. It looks natural, looks real, and there's a lot of these that you can add to your footage across a wide variety of different genres. Now watch how simple this is. Let's say you want to transfer this effect to this shot right here. You can just hit that FX icon, you go up to this little copy icon here, select that clip that you want to paste it to, go to Applied Effects, and hit this little paste icon. That simple. So now since this effect is applied to both of these clips, it kind of like helps the hard cut look a little smoother. You know, while we're at it, we might as well add a few different extra things. So let's go to the transitions tab and we'll add perhaps this shots transition. Let's throw it on in between here. And something that's cool is because we cut ourselves out or cut myself out, we have the transition that's happening behind me, which looks real cool. Of Kazakhstan. That looks great. So we used one of the awesome built-in effects. We used a great transition. We have one of the songs that is built into Movavi. Now let's add some sound effects. And you can do that just by going to Audio, Sounds, and perhaps we add a bird sound underneath here. Let's start it right where this plays out. We'll trim this off. We can add that fade out just by double clicking. We'll add a little fade out here, about the same duration. Maybe adjust the volume a bit. It's looking real good. Now let's say that all the built-in default presets are just not enough for you and you want a bigger selection, so if you're making a specific type of video, you know you're covered. Movavi has something called Movavi Effects, which is their plan that includes a boatload of different packs, from food blog packs to film camera packs. I quite like this one. Has a bunch of different LUTs that you could select, as well as different overlay effects that I like a lot. If you know me and you know this channel, you know I love my film and cinematic overlays. They have manga packs, Lunar New Year packs, different YouTube packs, which is super useful. Some of these are so cool. Like this is a transition in the holidays and events genre. And obviously this does not go with this video, but look at how well animated this is. Right? I mean, look at this one. Look how cool this one is. It's like a real beautiful gradient fade that swings from the right to the left. I love it. So I added just a few more of the free built-in sound effects that come with Movavi, and here is what we created today. Where am I? What is this parking lot? Am I in a Target? Am I at a Walmart? No, I'm actually in the country of Kazakhstan. I mean, come on. It's just too good. Now, if all the different built-in music, sound effects, transitions, AI Auto Captioning, the easy and simple to use layout doesn't cut it for you, maybe this will. So Movavi has something called AI silence removal. And if you know video editing, you know one of the most tedious and annoying parts is cutting out the gaps where it's silent, where you don't speak. But with Movavi, all you do is select your clip and hit remove silence. And that was real time. That's absolutely crazy. So if I just press Command Z to undo, you'll see that it cut out all of the spaces in between where I'm speaking, which just saves so much time while editing. The real power of a tool like Movavi isn't that it's just easy, it's that it removes the technical barriers that usually stop people from finishing their projects. It is intuitive while giving you professional grade features like AI silence removal, smart beat detection, and AI auto captioning right where you can find them in the software. So don't just take my word for it. If you want to try out Movavi yourself, you can try it out for free without the need for a credit card. So just click the link in the description below, or you can join the Movavi editing family with a simple 1-month plan, which is perfect for quick one-off edits. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.